Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missi Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work. Sometimes failure doesn't look like falling apart. It looks like realizing you've been holding on to something for too long. I recently had to make a really hard call and fire someone that I cared about, and it forced me to face some uncomfortable truths about myself, my leadership, and the kind of business that I actually want to run. So today we're talking about what it really means to move on from your failures, how to own them, learn from them, and use them to level up. So recently I took a pretty hard hit, and I've been working really hard, doing a million things, head down, just doing my job and dealing with my own shit. And suddenly I look up one day and realize, fuck, everything is wrong. Everything is fucked. This is not working for me. And I ended up having to fire someone. They went on vacation for a week, which is fine. And I had to take over their job, which is also fine. Like, I have no problem jumping in when I need to. And jumping in meant doing the things that they do every day and being in their space and using things the way that they do. And I quickly realized all the things that were falling through the cracks, being done carelessly, half-assed, or just not getting done at all. And I had a moment of absolute fucking panic, first of all, and then a moment of clarity, a long overdue moment of clarity. And I had to admit to myself that I fucked up. I made a mistake and I failed at filling this role, bringing in the right person, training them. And this was all on me. But unfortunately for them, that meant I had to let them go. And I made a bad hire again. Not necessarily bad, but wrong. It was the wrong person, and maybe not wrong at the time that I hired them, but wrong for the growth of my business and the future of my business. So I ended up having to fire my manager, and it wasn't all bad, which makes it so much more difficult because there were so many things that she was doing right and so many things that were good. And it's really hard to make that call when there's just like parts of their job that they do well. Unfortunately, like, she was a good person. She's a pleasant to be around and loved working here and did some things really well. And unfortunately, just because you are a good person and you mean well and you like working here and you like being here and you are able to do some of the things well, it doesn't mean that you get to stay here. And it doesn't mean that you get to be in a role that you're not right for. It's a hard call to make as the owner, as the boss, to say that, because at least for me, like, I care about people and I care about their well-being and I don't want to be an asshole boss. But at the same time, I have to make choices that are best for my business and make choices that are best for everyone involved. And it's not just about this person. It's not just about me. We're a team here. It's got to be what's good for everyone. And the things that weren't working for me were pretty fucking serious. Like, things that, like, have to be done. Like, organization is so important in a business. Like, you have to, at least for me and the way that I operate, I need organization to get things done, to stay on track, to make sure things are done right, because I have ADD. Like, I have to super overcompensate for my crazy fucking chaotic brain. So I need things to be super organized. I need them to be where they're supposed to be. I need them to be easy to find. I don't like wasting my time. And one of my biggest pet peeves is just looking for something that has a place. So if it's supposed to be there, it needs to be there, because I don't want to waste 30 minutes looking for something that should have taken me 2 seconds to walk over to its place and pick up, like stuff like that. Like it seems very small and very like unimportant, but in the grand scheme of things, if every single thing and every single aspect and angle of this business is disorganized, it's fucking chaos around here. I can't have that. And just like the standards of work and of doing things, I want them at a certain level. Like it's just how I want things. I don't think that anything I ask is unrealistic, but I do have a certain standard that I want things done in. And if they're not being met, then they're not being met. That's it. Like I can't fix you. I can't turn that out of you. Communication was another big one where I need to be told things. Like I need to know when something's wrong or something's not working or something is not going to be making the deadline or, anything like that. I need to know what's happening. And if I'm making time to talk to everyone, like, hey, what's going on? Do you need help with anything? What are you struggling with? This is a thing that I do. We do this weekly. We do this monthly one-on-one. That's the time. That's the time to tell me that shit's not working or you need help with something. But if you're telling me it's fine, I'm believing you that it's fine. And if you tell me you can handle it, I'm believing that you can handle it. And that's not what was happening. And accountability is another big one. So like owning up to your mistakes, owning up to, what you can do better and just, doing what you say you're going to do. I mean, again, these are things that we practice day in, day out here. Every one of us. These are big things for us. Coachability is another one that I struggled with, where it was like, if I give feedback, I'm open to having a conversation about it, but the defensiveness and like the inability just to own up to things and maybe take a step back and try and figure out like what could be done better, like all of us need to be coachable, including myself. Like I need people to tell me things and I will openly be like, okay, well, let me think about that. And, how can I make that better? It's just like, these are things we all practice and they're all really important to the way that I run my shop. So could I have started over and retrained and tried to fix what was broken? Sure. Probably. Do I want to? No. Like, I don't want to start over again with the same person. But do I think that doing that anyway would have resulted in the type of manager that I need for the business? No, I don't. And that's why I came to the decision that I did. I was looking for someone who would have more like autonomy and want more autonomy and like be able to just like take the role, run with it, and like be in charge. And that's something that I've been struggling with since day one, trying to find someone who can do that. I thought paying more money would be, bring in the better talent, but it also sucks because I definitely interviewed for that specific like personality trait. I thought I did a pretty good job of asking questions that I needed to ask to get that type of a person, but I missed something. Like, I don't know exactly what it is. But the truth of all of this is that I kept myself so busy that I wasn't able to pay attention to what was going on. I somehow turned into this like optimist, which is weird for me because I've definitely been this person in the past who's like super pessimistic and, doubtful about everything and not trusting people. But at somewhere along the lines, I was like, this is going to be great and everything's going to work out. And I trust everybody, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I assume the best in people. And I believe them when they say that they can handle something or they know how to do things. I trust quickly and I try to give people the space to make it their own, thinking like that's where I thrive when people give me the space to do things my way. And that's probably where they thrive too, but that's not always the case. And not everyone is like that. And just trusting their word and not also checking up on it, you kind of set yourself up for failure when you do that. So the majority of people have an incredible lack of self-awareness, I'm realizing, and they may not even be lying or lying to themselves, but they might just be that unaware of themselves that they just don't know. They don't realize that they are not like up to par. They're not doing things like at the standard that you're requiring, you know? But regardless of how I got there and got to that point, I know from my past experiences that I have to recognize when shit is going south before the problem gets bigger, and I need to just deal with it. In that moment, I was starting to realize that we're a small business right now. Like, we are just like a couple people. We have a handful of artists. I mean, I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm still a small business. The shop is small, Bound by Art is small, but I have very big dreams and very big ideas for the businesses. And if we're having problems at this stage in the business with organization and standards, accountability, communication, like what the fuck is going to happen when the business is double the size? And there's double the responsibility. What's going to happen when my new business that I'm just like starting up gains momentum? You know, I always have these like side projects and things going on. I'm just getting this new business started right now. And I anticipate that it's going to do very well very quickly. And I need like solid people on my team that can handle that sudden like impact. You know, when I'm being pulled in a million directions, I need someone solid like helping me along the way. So, you know, what's going to happen when we get there? What's going to happen when I have even more people needing my time and attention? It's going to be absolute chaos. I'm trying my best to live a more proactive life these days and less reactive than I have been in the past. And one of the ways I'm being proactive is finding things that are broken in the business and in my life in general and fixing them and looking for the small fires to put out before they become completely uncontrollable and seeing those future problems before they get here. And I would much rather clean up the mess and mistakes at this stage than a year from now with a whole extra year of bullshit piled on top of this. On top of this person not being the right fit for the role, and this is something I've had a hard time with in the past, but it's so true. I try to think about this anytime I have to let someone go. There's a job out there that she is perfect for. Me keeping her here was holding her back from finding that job. There's someone out there that's also perfect for this job, and me keeping the wrong person in that position prevents me from ever finding that perfect person. It's like no one's going to take the seat if there's someone sitting in it. So I have to make sure that it's open to find the right person. And allowing someone who doesn't meet the standards of the shop work here, it lowers the standards across the board for everyone. It creates frustration among the crew. People who are super hard workers and have high standards and are ambitious, they don't want to work with people who aren't. They don't want to work with people who don't have those qualities as well, because we like to be around other people who are pushing us to be better and like raising the bar. And it doesn't help us attract more people like us if we have someone like that in our crew. So we're hiring right now and trying to fill some seats. And you know, imagine a guest artist comes in here, like considering working here, and they're seeing this like half-assery and bullshit going on that's like below standards. And like, are they coming back? Probably not. Are they gonna someday consider being a resident artist with us? No, probably not, I would imagine. And it just attracts more of the same. And you have to consider whatever you have, whatever you put out there in the world, you're attracting more of that. So look around. What do you see? Who are you surrounded by? What kind of people are they? What kind of environment do you have? Do you want more of that? If your answer is no, you have to make some changes. You have to figure out what's broken and fix it. If your answer is yes, and you do want more of that, then you're doing it right and lean into that and protect it at all costs. And when you see shit going sideways, and you spot something that isn't right, you have to fix it immediately before it gets away from you and before it does too much irreversible damage. Sometimes fixing it means letting someone go. And sometimes it means you have to figure out what you're doing wrong and fix your own shit. Sometimes it means both. Sometimes you have to let someone go and you really have to figure out what the fuck you did wrong, which is where I'm at. And I have to sit down now and figure out like at what point did I lose control here? Where did I misstep? Where do I need to change things and do them better and do them different next time? Whenever something like this happens, I really will sit back and analyze, like, what did I do here? Like, how did I contribute to this situation? Was there something that I did or did not do that got us here? And how am I going to change that going forward? And then one of the other things that I ask myself is, do I need to learn something? Like, and not just like a lesson from this, but am I lacking in skills somewhere? Am I lacking in my abilities that I need to like go learn some shit so that I can be a better leader, so that I can train these people better, so that I could do a better job next time? Where am I lacking in the knowledge portion of this? And then I'm asking myself, what am I going to do differently going forward? This is a lesson that I have had to learn over and over again. Just if I don't sit down and think about this stuff, if I don't really sit back and try to analyze what happened to get me here, I'm just going to make the same mistake again. I'm going to fucking repeat this pattern because I'm clearly missing something if I got here. So, the last time this happened was when I had some artists leave. They were a married couple. Like they went and opened their own shop, and I knew that was their plan. Was trying to change things anyway. I was trying to if I just make a really happy place for them, they'll never want to leave. But that wasn't the case. So, what I learned from that situation was that communication sucked. If I would have been checking in more and asking them like what's going on with them and what are their plans and been paying more attention, I would have seen that shit coming. But at the time, I didn't know any better. So learned from that one. And, the first thing I did after that was, okay, what needs to be different? How can I change the way that I do things so that I am hopefully never blindsided like that again? So, that's when I put into place our weekly meetings and our monthly one-on-ones and just constantly checking in with people. So, every time I've had this big pivotal moment, I've had to reassess and redirect and figure something out, add something to our systems or the way that we do things or whatever. But the important part of this is I'm doing something about it. I'm not just saying, well, that didn't work. That fucking sucks. And, move on. Let's get a new manager in here. I could easily post another ad and hire someone right away, go through the whole process of interviewing and blah, 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 because I have my training system already. But I'm taking time to reassess. I'm rebuilding some systems. I'm revisiting how I'm training people and what I'm doing, because I don't want to do that again. I feel like each time I get a new manager, it lasts a little bit longer. So there's that. That's a bonus, I guess. But yeah. So going forward, I'm just going to take my time, make sure I do things better next time, and set myself up for this next round of training and onboarding and blah, blah, blah. So, but I just wanted to come on here and just kind of share what's going on in my life, what's going on in my shop and my business, and, just be real about things, because it's real easy to talk about what I did before and how it was successful. It's not always easy to talk about when things don't go right and they aren't successful. And I don't think a lot of people out there admit when things don't go right. And, I just want to show both sides of that. I've done a lot of things right. I have a lot of things that I consider successful, and I have a lot of things that, worked for me, and I could teach that, and that's great. But, there's also a lot to be learned in the bad times and the bad things. So I just want to share both sides of that, because I know everybody, it's not sunshine and rainbows all the time. So, it's not the end of the world. Everything's gonna be fine. And we're gonna move on and, get through this together. But, It is what it is. I'm glad that I was able to recognize it when I did, and it didn't last longer than it did, and didn't keep someone on longer than that. That wasn't the right fit. I am getting better at recognizing things and pulling the plug on things when I know it's not going anywhere. So there's that. But yeah, if you're struggling with whether or not to keep someone on, if you have that gut feeling, I swear to God, every single time I have let somebody go, I look back and I think, I knew this. I knew this a long time ago. I knew this 6 months ago. I knew this day one. I've had people like that where it's day one. I was like, I don't know if this is the right person, but we're already here. They're already hired. Let's keep it going. Fast forward a year and I'm firing them because the same shit, like that gut feeling usually is correct. So maybe I'll be listening to that a little bit more closely. But if you're struggling with that, you know what you need to do. Just do it. Do what you got to do. Get shit back on track. The longer you wait, the harder it is. It's like they say, it's real easy to redirect a tugboat, a little tiny boat. But when you're steering the fucking Titanic and you got to redirect and turn it around, it's a lot fucking harder. So if you see some shit now that's a problem, fix it now before it becomes a very big problem.
All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today. Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.